myself. So yeah, I think there's a lot that I need to do with TikTok, and I think with Latinos in research as well, we need to do TikTok. This shirt is not good for clipping on mics. All right, now we're live on Periscope. Let's see how Twitter does. I haven't gone live on Periscope in a while. What are you doing right now, Rosario? What are you drinking? And what are you doing? How's it going? And who's on TikTok that's watching on Instagram? If you're on TikTok, let me know. And if I should do more TikToks, let me know what you think. And let's get the questions rolling in. Let's get the likes as well. Let's get the likes going. Let's get the questions going in the comments. We have my wife's helping me read the Instagram because it's kind of far. I can't see. And I'll do the rest. I'll do LinkedIn, YouTube, and Periscope. Okay. I will open a TikTok. Yeah, I think that's also an opportunity for people trying to break in. I think the research sites. I mean, I think Instagram's still way more important than and Facebook for the sites to get patients.
Shout out to your wife.
Oh, thank you. That's a good comment. Good comment. I'm trying to do something with this green screen, but I don't think I can. Hello, how's it going from YouTube in the YouTube land? What's going on?
Where's Sonic? LOL.
Sonic is here. Where is he?
On the bottom.
Yeah, I can't even grab him though. He's gonna drink my decaf. We'll get Sonic. We'll work on getting Sonic. I finally turned on my bell notification to catch these live. You see, you have to do the bell. Look at Sonic. All right, Sonic wants you guys to be on. Okay, I was thinking with TikTok since the last live stream that we got to get Sonic more involved on the TikToks. Maybe I can do it like while I'm walking him or something. Okay, so let me know your questions. I'm gonna let Sonic go, but that's good for the thumbnail for YouTube. I actually have some questions in the inbox that I can get to. So one of them was about certifications. Do you think let's Sonic's kicking around the live.
There?
Yeah, that's good. So one of the questions was about certifications. Do you need certifications? Is it important? The only certification you need if you do research, if you want a career in research, is good clinical practice. So if you're somebody looking to break into the space, I would say definitely get good clinical practice. That's important. If you want anything else, I mean, what's more important than certifications? This is certification not that important. What's more important than certifications is experience. I'm going to get to that, but we have a question.
Hello, Dan. About to register to CRA Academy. Just want to make sure there are spots left for April.
Oh, yeah. April's wide open. Wide open. We just closed enrollment for January. So if you're in April, you're going to get grandfathered in at the current price because it's been going so well. I don't know if we're going to increase it. I have to talk to Tiffany and Chris about that. But yes, definitely. And we're still offering the split up the payment into $2,500 each. Right now, the CRA Academy is $5,000. The CRC Academy, which has the next class starting at the end of this month, is only $3,000. We can get you in that one too. It just depends what you want. So that's very good. So yeah, basically what's more important than certifications is experience. Okay. When is the next contest for CRA Academy? Well, nobody really did the contest. People did it halfway. They didn't complete it. And honestly, if whoever would have completed it would have been good. What?
They need to follow directions.
Yeah, you got to follow directions. I mean, I have a hard time with that too, but come on, guys. If you want something for free that's worth $5,000, you're going to follow directions. Probably going to announce that in April, like at around week 1 of the CRA Academy. So we don't want to stop people from paying for the course. Odds are you're not going to win. Normally when we do these contests, a lot of people apply. So chances are you're not going to win. But this last one was literally anybody who would have submitted would have won. So keep the likes coming. CD, do we need to get verbal consent if the participant signed e-consent? Do we need to get verbal consent if the participant signed e-consent? E-consent is no different than paper consent. They're 21 CFR Part 11 electronic systems for FDA considers electronic signature and a physical wet ink signature the same. So it's no difference, whatever your SOPs are. My name is Nina. Can you do a shout out to my big brother, John? Please, he got me into clinical research. And the first thing he told me is to watch all your videos. Nina, thank you, John. You are an amazing big brother. We all need, the world would be a much better place with more big brothers like you. Thank you. Keep the likes going. I need to see the likes because the algorithms will show it to more people. But keep the questions coming. Thank you from Canada. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. E-consent, no different than paper consent. FDA considers it the same thing. And same thing with electronic signatures from the site level. Chris says, I have no PI partnering with me and my LLC. Do you have a PIs looking for resources? Send them my way. Look, everybody's looking for PIs. Everybody who wants to start a site is looking for PIs, and that's the hardest thing to do in research. Hi, Josie Lynn. How's it going all the way down there in Florida? How's everything? So everybody is looking for a PI that wants to start a site. It's the most difficult thing to do, and really, you gotta get on LinkedIn and message a whole bunch of doctors, email like my wife did when we're moving to Arizona. Emailed a bunch of doctors in the area, like through Google, and like it was like 100 doctors, and only 2 replied, and then one of them wants to do it. But once you get that one doctor, that's it, because now that doctor, if you incentivize them properly, they're going to refer you to all their specialists too. So not only will they do studies with you, usually it's a family practice doctor, not only will they do studies with you, but they will also refer you to all their colleagues as well. Hello from France. How's it going? And from the United Kingdom. Geez, must be Saturday morning over there, or really late Friday night.
I just got some advice to look into biotech careers. Do you have any recommendations on how to switch from CRC to biotech? Do you recommend any companies?
Biotechs are awesome. We have, they're like the funnest companies to work for, and they could also be the most lucrative because they give a lot of their employees stock options um, as a retention tool to keep the employees. So really, biotechs need CRAs. They need in-house CRAs. Some of them need coordinators too. Some need vendor management. I would look into in-house CRA, remote monitoring. Do a map of all the biotechs in your area, and then do a map. Just go on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Career Builder, and then just look. Just type clinical research and look. That's for the research side. Biotech also hires like on the sales side, and they also hire like lab stuff. So if you're doing, all I know is clinical research. It's Friday night in the UK. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Friday night, yeah. So it's like 8 hours ahead. So it's 10 p.m. Not bad. Not bad. What are you guys drinking over there in the United Kingdom? Judy says maybe next time. Yeah, I hear you, Judy. We're gonna go live next time with you. We gotta do more. We have to have a TikTok strategy for Latinos in clinical research. So that's my recommendation for the biotech. I think it's a good idea. I actually know somebody in Texas who worked as a CRA for a biotech, and they gave him stock options, and he also has his own site. So just message me. I'll try to put you in touch with people. Like, we try to connect people. Okay. I was YouTube. Wait, who is this person? Nina from YouTube. I was a CRC, now a CTA. You have to explain what CTA is. Clinical trial assistant, clinical trial administrator, clinical trial associate. Who cares, honestly, what's the title? It doesn't matter, job description. But I was a CRC, now a CTA. They told me that they want to promote me to a CRA, Okay, so in your case, the A means assistant. Okay, so promote me to a CRA, clinical research associate, in a few months. I am really nervous. How long does it take to be confident in the CRA role without the academy? Even with the academy, look, CRA is very stressful. It's extremely stressful. It's not so much to be nervous, more so than just like it's stressful. So you have to, because remember, you're the last line of defense, not only for the FDA, between the site and the FDA, but you're the last line of defense for patient safety and patient oversight, because the site is supposed to maintain patient safety and patient oversight, but sometimes they don't, either because they're inexperienced or they're overworked. And then it really falls down to the CRA. And if you've been a CTA, clinical trial assistant, and you were a clinical research coordinator, I don't think you're going to have a problem being a CRA. I mean, you know the fundamentals. You know patient safety is important. If you know patient safety is important, whether you're a coordinator or a CRA, doesn't matter. It's just different sides of the same coin, but doesn't matter.
What's the requirement to own a site in the UK? I am currently a senior CRA.
Wow, I don't really know anything about UK or Europe when it comes to these things. I don't think there's much requirement very different than here. You need a principal investigator. I don't know if they do private practice there. I think that physicians have private practice. I doubt everyone's employed by an academic institution or a hospital or the government, but maybe. I know in Canada they have private freestanding sites as well. So really, it's no different than here. Get a PI, get a physician to be your PI. Hopefully, he or she sees patients in their database, and then start approaching these sponsors. Go on clinicaltrials.gov and just look for studies. Go on LinkedIn and start networking with people. I have two questions. Do you think that a MS Pharm, so a master's in pharmacy, do you think that could have a bigger change for a good beginner job in clinical research? I don't think it matters. I think if for a beginner job, I mean, if we're talking about like clinical research assistant and then a clinical research coordinator, you can be a medical assistant. You don't need a master's degree to get your foot in the door in research. I know people with no bachelor's degrees that are site directors now. I know many actually, and they make really good money. So I don't think education, traditional education, I think even though in our industry, that's the one, we still hold on to sacred cows, and having degrees is still important. This kind of relates to the certification question earlier. Having degrees is sort of important, but I'm seeing now, I'm hearing from employers that even if you worked for a academic medical center, CROs are less likely to hire you because they know that the focus is all about titles and you don't really do things practically. So I think a good beginner job for clinical research is just to start at the site level somehow. Sonic's going crazy. He keeps moving this thing. But it's okay. It's okay. Better go crazy on the ground than on the table. What is the aim to have master in clinical research? Yeah, I don't think it matters anymore. I don't think these master's degrees, I think especially CROs, and especially sites, they know that real world experience matters much more than a master's degree. I mean, it just does. Like, yes, sponsors like to have some basis for education for their CRAs. So you have to have a bachelor's degree. Sometimes, if you want to be a project manager or a lead CRA, master's helps. But as far as getting your foot in the door, master's doesn't help.
How can someone with no experience get into the clinical research field?
Man, I talk about this all the time. Start at the research clinic near you, not a big university, a small research clinic in your community. So just go on Google, put in your zip code, and put clinical research, and you'll find the clinics there. Then do anything you can to go intern there. Whatever skill set you have, like I said on the last live stream, set up an Instagram for their site, set up TikTok. Go on clinicaltrials.gov and find study leads for them. Just work for free and let them give you experience as a research assistant. And then hopefully they hire you. But if not, you now have experience. on your resume. To me, doing that is more important than a master's degree. What I just said. Yeah.
I'm a senior CRA and I am thinking of going for my master's. What path would you recommend for me that would help me grow and advance in the clinical world?
So you're a senior CRA and thinking of going for a master's. What path would you recommend for me? So when you're at this level, so senior CRA, that's a different level. Now, like you can probably consider lead CRA. Okay, lead CRA. Typically, if you can do something in regards to science, like for you, in your case, I would say a master's in clinical research would be good, although it's not necessary. I think more important than that would be like SOCRA certified, ACRP certified, but I'm guessing you already have that. So one of the career trajectories for you would be lead CRA, or team lead, whatever it's called in your organization. If you're at a CRO, I strongly suggest you look into, like the person earlier commented, working for a sponsor. And the small to mid-size sponsor, like small to mid-size biotechs, they usually give stock options and they usually need senior people to run their team. So you can go from being just one of many senior CRAs at your CRO to like the lead CRA at a biotech. And you're going to know more about ClinOps than most people there at the biotech. They usually give stock options, and that's a really good career trajectory. You can also go on your own, like you can start doing business on your own. You can help sponsors, like as a consultant, set up their trials. Sponsors don't know, especially the smaller sponsors, they don't know how to set up a trial. They don't know that sites are tough to get activated. They don't know any of these things that you do know. So I think if you're ready to make that step from senior CRA, I'm guessing you work at a CRO, I would go with the sponsor route. Plus, quality of life seems to be better for sponsors. We get question. Agree 100% on LinkedIn. Thank you, David. I appreciate it, man. You guys keep doing your thing too over there. You guys are making good progress with your business. Oh, UK research is mostly managed by the NHS. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But mostly, so that doesn't mean all of it, right? Might be opportunity. Is it allowed to work for multiple CRO companies as a CTA, clinical trial assistant, or CRA? Or is it a conflict of interest? For example, if you want to do some weekend or extra work to make more money. So you got to look at your contracts. If you're going to be a W-2 employee, let me finish this question, then we'll do the Instagram one. So if you're going to be a W-2 employee, I would say no, you can't. They expect you're on salary. They expect you to work full time for them. Plus, in a lot of those contracts, they usually state that you can't. Now, can they legally stop you? Probably not, but they're probably not going to like that. Now, if you're a contractor, okay, definitely. I mean, that's what your business is. It's to get contracts. So you're not a W-2 employee. When you're a W-2 employee, you give up a lot of freedoms, right? You give up a lot of freedoms for that security. When you're a contractor, you have all the freedom you want, but you don't have the security. So it depends. I do know some CRAs that on the side train sites on the weekends. So that's a good side hustle. I do believe with all that I just said, I do believe everybody in research, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, should have like another stream of income. So if you're a CRA, you can probably help sites in your area. And I'm sure some sites would pay for your services like quality control, or helping them with SOPs or things like that. Or helping, I know a lot of CRAs that started their own sites too.
Thanks a lot for the info.
Wasn't there another question, like a bigger question?
No, that's the one I read to you.
Oh, okay.
We're caught up.
What are some advice you can give to someone who is trying to break into the industry? Work at the site level. Work at the site level. And this person meant for a sponsor company. Is it allowed to work for multiple sponsor companies? I mean, the same thing. Especially if the sponsor is giving you stock options, they don't expect you to go work with a competitor at the same time. Like that's they probably there's more intellectual property at the sponsor level than there is at the CRO level for them to have like a potential lawsuit. And I do know some companies that have sued employees for doing this kind of stuff. Sonic's going crazy right now. Biomedical or biotechnology field study is better to get better job. I think they're the same. I mean, it's really what you want to do. It's not about there's jobs they're both good jobs. Biomedical, biotechnology. I think biotech is good to me. If I'm an entrepreneur at heart, I don't think I could work for anyone else. But if I had to just be an employee, I probably would want to work for a biotech and get stock options and like really grow that company, like maybe even eventually run the company like a CEO. But obviously that's like a career, that's like a life career goal if I were an employee. But that's never gonna happen.
Randy's asking for doing what, but I'm not sure what the question.
Huh?
He's asking
For doing what? Who gets sued?
who gets sued?
Oh, I've heard of employees getting sued by their employers for working, moonlighting for competitor companies, or even sometimes non-competing companies.
Sonic.
Sometimes even for non-competing companies.
Stop it.
Sonic's chasing a ball.
Under the couch.
What role? Okay, Rex. What role has more growth potential? Clinical trial manager or lead CRA? Also, is specializing in post-marketing authorization studies or DUS studies worth getting expertise in? So your first one, what has more growth potential, clinical trial manager or lead CRA? I would say lead CRA. Although they're both growth potential. Right now, 2021, the entire industry is growth potential. If you're asking me to look 10 years into the future, I think clinical trial manager, I don't know. I think lead CRA, because you're dealing more with humans, so with other CRAs, I don't think technology can replace that job easier than a clinical trial manager who's dealing with systems more or less. So the only thing I'd be worried about very long term is AI taking over my job. But by very long term, I mean like 20 years. So I think they're both good. And your second question, PMA studies or DUS studies worth getting expertise in? Yeah, anything that you can specialize in on your journey to becoming a generalist. So don't forget that second part. Specialize in whatever you want. If you're passionate about it and you're getting opportunities, specialize, but don't forget to also be a generalist, meaning specialize in other things. Don't just stop there. How can I find more about patient recruitment pricing models? How do clients pay and how much per patient study successfully enrolled? Go to StudyKik, STUDYKIK, and look at their models. That's a vendor in the industry that was started by former study coordinators and not a complicated business model at all. But patient recruitment is the most difficult thing in the entire industry by far. Clients pay, the sponsors or CROs either pay the vendor like a monthly fee and the cost of the advertising, or the sites pay based on randomizations. StudyKik is probably the most site friendly one. Thank you, CD. Also, thoughts on getting. Hi, Dan. Do clinical research certifications really make up for some experience? No, I don't think they do. Also, thoughts on getting non-clinical research certifications such as PMP to help your career. That might help if you want to be a project manager, yes. Certifications don't matter. Experience matters. I wouldn't pay for too many certifications. The only reason I feel comfortable charging for the CRA and CRC Academy is because we give internship experience. We give real-world experience at the end of teaching the course. To me, that's valuable. If you just take a course online and there's nothing and you're just learning academic, there's no real value there.
Randy says, thank you for everything, Dan. Have to go. I'll be back.
All right, Randy. I appreciate it. Live video paused. Okay. Let's see. Also, thoughts on getting non-clinical research certifications such as PMP to help with career. Yeah. So The only certification you need is GCP. Do that. And then you can go on Coursera, and you can also do the IATA. If you're going to work for a site, you should just get your IATA certificate. I think it's free also. And then you can start paying like little money on Coursera for clinical research specific courses. But don't just get swamped doing that stuff. Go to sites and try to intern and try to gain experience, because that's what employers want. They don't care so much about certifications. Now, like the person who asked, who's a senior CRA, she's already a senior CRA but wants a master's degree to advance her career. That's a totally different story, right? She's kind of maxed out at what she can currently do with her certifications and education, at least in her opinion. I don't think so, but in her opinion, maybe. I like to go the entrepreneurial route where you're never maxed out, right? But if you're going to go the employee route, at a certain level, you do reach a ceiling, and then you got to get different certifications. I think ACRP and SOCRA are really good. I have a Zoom. Yeah, go do the Zoom. A lot of companies are reluctant hiring someone with minimal to no experience. Of course, they are. And I would be too. What are some suggestions in gaining exposures? So, reluctant in hiring someone with minimal to no experience. So you've got to get that experience somehow, internship, like through our academies. This is like we set everything up for you. You're going to learn monitoring report. You're going to learn how to do it on a breast cancer study. We have a COVID study coming up that the interns are going to start interning for. So if you intern at clinics near you, you're going to have, even if it's minimal experience, they're going to be less reluctant to hire you. It's all about getting your foot in the door at the interview. And then once they start interviewing you, that's going to determine whether your experience paid off or not. Because they're going to ask you certain questions related to their job. And if you don't have the answers that they like, then they're going to be reluctant to hire you. But if you do, they don't really care about how many years you've done it. If you know what they're asking and you know how to do it, even if it's minimal. Right now it's supply and demand. All right, supply and demand. There's just not enough people to go around to fill all these jobs. So the sponsors can want whoever they want. At the end of the day, they're going to hire the people that they think are going to require the least amount of training. I am in Europe. I want to work alone. I am in Europe. I want to work alone. SCRA. Open my site. Recruit patients. How to find sponsors. Clinicaltrials.gov. Find all the sponsors there. Search for what studies you want. Make sure that they're international studies. Just start emailing 100 people a day on there. Tell them who you are, what you do, exactly what you can do for them. There's a lot of studies right now. I'm also from the Inland Empire in Orange County. Thanks for representing. I appreciate everything you do for the clinical research community. You are the only person I have subscribed to on YouTube. Wow. Thank you. That's an honor. But you probably should subscribe to more people. But yeah, OC is great. We're going to open a clinic in Buena Park, and then I'll be moving to Arizona, but still coming back every month for business. I hope sometime in the future we can do some type of business together. Until then, I'll keep learning and gain more experience. Yep. You never know. Thank you. I've been researched this a year, and a project manager told me she doesn't know anyone personally with a PMP. So I'm just going to keep focusing on experience. It's more important. The experience is much more important. Knowing how to deal with coordinators that don't want to send you the documents you need. Knowing how to deal with CRAs that are making mistakes on their monitoring reports. Knowing how to balance the payments and all this stuff that a project manager does to the sites. How to get people organized. That's more important than getting a PMP certification, in my opinion. Can working for cannabinoid company phase 3 trials be detrimental to your resume? No, I don't think so. I think the only one where this could possibly be a issue, and even then I don't think it is, because it's just a process, is the vaping, those vaping studies that they used to do a couple years ago. They don't anymore. Working for a cannabinoid company is not detrimental to your research, to your resume, especially if you've been monitoring. So I would focus more on the process, what you've been doing, rather than what kind of studies they were. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's a cannabinoid phase 3 or a breast cancer phase 3. The monitoring is the same. The principles are the same. GCP is the same. Do CRAs travel a lot doing an overnight stay at different places? Yeah. During normal times, which we're probably going to get back to like late this year, early 2022, CRAs were on traveling on the road 80% of the time. Up to 80% of the time, sometimes 90% of the time. As you get more senior, you could probably get away with less travel if they put you, like if your lead CRAs kind of put you on more of a regional monitoring plan. Otherwise, go work for a sponsor. Do you see? And now there's a lot of remote monitoring visits, but I know the industry can't wait for traditional on-site visits because remote sites are not prepared for remote monitoring. Most sites don't scan. Most sites don't use eSource, and most sites don't scan their documents either. All right. Any more questions? I will go end this live stream. Let me know on Instagram. And let me know on LinkedIn. Let me know on Periscope. I haven't got any questions from Twitter. Next time I'm going to go just Facebook. I was trying Twitter out. All right. So that's it. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Keep the questions coming in. I'll go live again on Monday. And catch y'all later.